And out there they've got little barges that they're towing.
Willie Newman and Russell Converse are pulling over here, and we're going to see how much we can do in a few hours here. Also, this is a new area. This area, there were no water chestnuts there last year, and now they're just beginning to grow. So it's relatively easy to pull it here. We have a lake cutter for getting into the more difficult growth that's been going on for many years. And as soon as we are able to get an outboard motor to propel the boat that the lake cutter will be on, we'll get to doing that. We used to think that we had to come in here and pull the whole plant up by seed and get the seed. It turns out we don't need to do that. We just need to clip off the head of the plant, and then that even if it has some beginning seeds growing on it, as long as it hasn't really flowered and there are not actual seeds on the plant, nothing's going to happen with that. We've cut off the plant, and the seed down below is not going to send up another plant because it's an annual. However, the seeds that have been out there for years and years have been dropping, the plants that have been out there for years and years have been dropping seeds down into the water. And the thought is that seeds can last 12 years, but we're hoping they don't. And so those seeds from former years can keep sending up plants. Speaking with the people in the town of Esopus, and what they found out is when they clear out an area one year, they go back the second year and they take the few plants that come up, and eventually no more plants come up in that area. So we're hoping it'll be the same thing here too. And that we expect that we're going to be doing this for years, that we're beginning this project, and we're hoping to get a lot of community support so that we can keep doing it, because it's pretty labor intensive. Even if we have a machine to cut, we still need to bring all the cut tops to the beach, and they need to be carted away. It could be used for fertilizer. I think that the village of Saugerties is going to bring it to and add it to their mulch pile up in the village. Our lifeguard over here at the Saugerties beach said they look for these and they collect them, and they get approximately 20 a day that kind of wash up on shore. They're very, very sharp. You can see the point. They came from Harvard University, imported them to do an exhibition, and they escaped into the Charles River, and they filled up the Charles River, and from there they've spread all over the Northeast, and that was in the 1800s. But you can go online and research it and see that it hasn't been around that long, but long enough to be just terrible for fish and for fishermen and for swimmers and anyone who wants to enjoy the water. It's bad for fish because it doesn't let light into the water, and it reduces the oxygen in the water. So it is bad for fish. This is the water chestnut plant that floats on top of the water. These little nodules here are what keeps it floating. It's a really ingenious little plant. It has all kinds of mechanisms for surviving. The plant sends out lots of these. One plant will send out many, many, many other plants that also float on the water. You see its little nodules, and then this plant will send out many plants in one season, which is why this cove has filled up rapidly with the plant. Especially this year, we had a warm winter. We didn't have any ice to keep the water cold, and then we had a warm spring. And so everywhere up and down the Hudson, they're saying, yeah, they came up 2 weeks earlier this year than usual. So it's going to be harder to keep them under control with the warm weather that we're having. There's some question that the turbid water that's coming down from the Ashokan Reservoir may also be feeding them with nutrients that they haven't had before, and the flooding that has washed nutrients off of farmland is also helping them to increase along with other things in the creek. This is the lake mower. After lots of discussions about how we would begin pulling these weeds again, and after going out into the cove and trying to pull some a number of weeks ago, we decided that, and I'm going to backtrack a little bit, a couple of people had made some inventions to cut the weeds because the hand pulling is just very, very difficult. Willie Newman came up with a saw that was 7 feet long, a little tiny blade, a very thin blade that had a serrated edge and 2 handles, and he felt that a couple of people in 2 different boats could try sawing back and forth and getting at it. We tried that. We tried another implement that was a V-shaped, very sharp, sharpened aluminum, and that didn't work. And so, because this is an expensive machine, this is a $3,000 machine, and we really didn't want to put the money into it, but we decided that that was the only way we were going to deal with this problem of the water chestnuts. We had already tried 3 years in a row getting the harvester from Esopus to come over here, and they had trouble with it because they had trouble with it themselves. It was breaking down, and finally this year the folks came over here from Esopus and said that it was too shallow to get the harvester in, so we decided this would be a better method. So this is the lake mower, and these are blades down here. They're very, very sharp blades that it's a battery powered motor on it, and it goes through the water, attaches to the side of a boat. There's a plate that attaches it to the side of a boat, and we need a motor in the back of the boat, a 5 horsepower motor. What we're looking for now, and we haven't been successful, we have to get a 5 horsepower motor. That's about $1,000 to buy that, so we didn't want to add that onto our already pricey machine here. So we're hoping we'll get a donation. There's sitting around somebody's garage someplace. There's a 5 horsepower mower they don't need anymore, and we can use it. Okay, the first thing is we haven't purchased this yet. We have it on a trial basis. This company, Jensen Lake Mower Company in Texas, very nice company. They like what we're doing. There aren't very many of these in play in the Northeast here. They like it that we're going to be trying it out. So we have it on a trial basis this year until the end of September, and then if we decide this isn't, what we want, we can send it back to them, and they will return our money. We put $800 down on it. We're going to be asking you to send us donations to help, to purchase a motor. There are a lot of expenses around this that we didn't anticipate, and it would be great to have the community support. We also need, not too many people showed up today to help us pull these. Once we get the lake motor going, we're going to cut a lot of these weeds, and then we need people to help gather them and bring them up on shore. The village has very kindly offered to come and pick up the cut weeds and bring them to a mulching site that they have, and they've allowed us to use the beach here to gather them, and so we're very glad for that partnership. But we need a lot of community participation in this project if it's to be successful. We probably will be doing this every weekend. As a matter of fact, we probably will be doing it for a number of years, because this isn't something you can do in one season. That's what they found out even with the harvester over at Esopus. That they're going to come back up, but they'll come back a lot less strong, and it'll be easier to pick up the ones that come back up in an area that you've already mowed. And so that's what it is. But with a lot of help from a lot of people, a little help from a lot of people, we can all do this.
Willie, I do believe we made a dent.
Oh, thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you, sir. These are bystanders.
Look for it. Most likely will be here, right? Turn this over again. Let's turn it over again. This one. Yes, welcome to the water chestnut pickup. Please join us. We need every one of you. We have boats, but we need people to come over and grab that thing. Apparently by hand is really easy. You pick up one and a whole bunch of them come together as you pick it up. You just hold it to the boat. In fact, it's fun. Come and do it. Let's have fun. Thank you.
Chris Nealon, resident of Saugerties. We're here on the beach pulling up the invasive species called water chestnut, and there's no real way to get rid of it other than cutting it off at the top before the seeds can fall and get in the mud. And if they do, they'll stay there for 12 years with potential of sprouting another plant. So the idea here is to get as many people out as we can to get in boats and just snip the tops off where the seeds fall from and collect them as we have here and you've seen. And I don't know, it's a big undertaking, but it's worth it because it's only going to encroach more and more every year. It's an exponential equation. So more people we can get out, the better. So please come out and help.